Peace everyone, this is Amira here, and today we got a story time for you. And today's story is going to be a story of conflict, bewilderment, and self-worth. Oh, I've been sitting on this story for about a year now. I thought it was time to finally tell this story. If you've been following me on Instagram or my Facebook page, you might have been seeing those practice hands with like some jaguar on it or some hagua on it. Those were practice designs for someone that I'm going to be mentioning in this story today. I filmed this story about 3 times. No, it's a story I don't really like to tell, only because I just feel like it's a messy story in a way, and yeah, it just brings up like conflicting feelings in me, and I never like feeling that. But nonetheless, I feel like there's some important messages in the story that we can all benefit from, and maybe if I put this into video form, I will not fall into this again. So anyway, our story starts about a year ago. About around in August of last year, I was getting ready to go to HennaCon. I was like buying my tickets, I was making the reservations, I was organizing other women to go with me. Also, like skipping ahead a little bit, around October there was like a few events going on other than HennaCon. I had my second ever Henna Crown appointment, and I was excited about that. And then the next week I was set to attend a lunch-in with the, hold on a second, the Women's Foundation of Colorado. They wanted some Muslim women to be represented at this luncheon. It was set to have 2 guest speakers, Nur Taguri and Maysoon Zayed. But here's my little tag that they made for me. I felt special, you know what I'm saying, it was on this. I was set to go to this luncheon on Friday, the 11th of October. So, around this time also, I got an inquiry through Instagram. It was from a young lady, I won't mention her name. She reached out to me October 5th and said, hey, so I was looking for a henna artist in Denver and I came across your amazing page. I have a question, do you do mobile henna? And she put in parentheses, you come to a location? Also, are you available between 10th and the 12th of October? And I said, hi, yes, I do mobile henna and I'm available for those dates. What's the occasion? She said, it's for an upcoming performance. Well, do you do Jaguar mobile? Because that's what we definitely want. So I was like, I got you. Would it be a group or just one person? She said it will be 3 people more than likely. So I was like, okay, 3 people, you know, I'll go out, you know, for a mobile appointment if it's 3 people. And I asked her, what kind of designs are you looking to have done? Something more simple on one hand, or something more elaborate on 2 hands, or other parts of the body? It's just me trying to get a feel of what the expectation is, what you want, because that'll help me decide if I'm gonna be doing this appointment or not, because I really don't like going out to do mobile henna if it's just for something small. If it's something that we can do here at my place, I'd rather do that. So she sends me this picture here. Hopefully you can see it. This is just a Jaguar design. I felt pretty confident in my abilities to replicate something like that. So I said to her, looks good. I know the artist that did this design for Jadena. I can definitely do something along those lines. And just to clarify, I don't really know this artist, but I just know of her. I've seen her on Instagram. I follow lots of henna artists on Instagram, so that's how I know of her, but not know her. You know what I mean? But she said, that's amazing. Can you tell me what your rate is? Around this time, it's when it gets a little bit sketchy for some folks, because doing mobile appointments definitely costs more money than just coming here to my inspiration room, as I call it. And that's because when you come here, we could just pay per design. But when I go out to people, we're doing mobile henna here, the price is obviously different, because you got to factor in, you know, time traveled, gas money, and bringing your own supplies, getting things together. And then if you're a mom, you got to arrange things for your children, like food and a babysitter and whatnot. So it's not just, you know, you just hop around and do what you got to do. I like to follow the motto of family comes first, you know what I'm saying? Because one of the things my mom told me was to never forget your family. So that's always like my mindset, you know, family first. So I want to make sure my family's taken care of before I leave and do what I need to do, even if it's for Henna, okay? So she asked me what my rate is, and I told her my hourly rate is $85 an hour for groups 3 to 5 people. I could get about 3 people done in 3 hours doing designs to the same fullness as the one you sent above. If that rate doesn't work for you, there are other things that we can do to accommodate you. And she got back to me on the 7th and said, hey, so honestly, we just need it for one person. We've actually used said henna artist before, in which her price is $35 per hand. Will you be able to do that price? I would really like to book you, but $85 an hour is a lot. We usually do it by hand. Okay, so I've run into this issue a few times in my henna journey, alright, where people try to haggle, they try to bargain the price with me. I can't really speak for this particular artist and why her price is the way it is, but all I know is that my price is my price. I'm not just saying that out of arrogance. I'm saying it out of like experience. I'm saying that out of tried and true methods that got me to this point. So this is not just some willy-nilly number that I'm throwing out here. But the disappointing part about this story is that, well, you'll see. We'll just keep reading ahead, alright? I said I could do that price, but only if you come to my location. Because, you know, I understand that, you know, for some people they just cannot do $85 an hour, even if they really wanted to, right? I usually just tell people, like, if it's too much for you, you could just come to my inspiration room in my home. That way the price is lower for you. You're just paying for what you're getting done and you're not paying for anything extra. And she proceeds to tell me that we won't be able to come to you. We'll pay for your transportation as well if you're still able to. I just explained to her, you know, what I had said to you guys before. It's not only transportation, it's babysitting. And it's the price too, because hagwa costs a bit more. It costs a lot more money than henna. So even $85 an hour, that's like just for regular henna. That's not even for jagwa, but it's like, since I didn't specify that in the beginning, I don't like to, like, you know, backtrack and change stuff up. But she just said, you know, we normally don't come to locations because he doesn't have time to actually go places. And I was just like, okay, where will you all be located? As long as it's in Denver or Aurora, I may be able to come to you as long as we do at least 3 people at $35 a hand. So, you know, this is like my mistake here, okay? My mistake here is like I am backtracking, like I'm not standing up for myself, I'm not sticking to my price, and that's usually not a good look for you. I was not being true to myself at that point, and part of that is due to me trying to make some money after spending all this money on HennaCon and the accommodations and all this other stuff. And I want to also have some money when I get to HennaCon so I could buy some things, you know what I'm saying? We need food, we need products, we need things, okay, when we're there, alright? She said that may actually work. He's gonna do 2 hands, and then we have myself and my friend who is doing 1 hand each. She may do 2. I have to give you our hotel location as soon as we get there because we haven't booked it. But the dates I gave you are when we'll be in Denver. Okay, so this is when my wheels start turning in my head. Like, did I miss something here? Because the word that's sticking out to me in this DM is he's gonna do 2 hands. He's gonna do 2 hands. I was like, who's he? Who's he? I thought I was dealing with you, sis. Like, now not only did I take 10 steps back on staying true to my price and sticking up for myself and my time, I have somehow agreed to do henna for a gentleman. This is the first time he's being mentioned, and I'm lost, okay? Who could this be? So I went on her page and I looked at, you know, just like some of her posts that she posted, looked through her story a little bit, and I saw that she was on tour. Okay, I see that she's on tour, and then I see that she's not only on tour, but she's touring with Jadena. So now this is a callback to earlier in the story when I showed you the picture of the Hagwa design that was done for Jadena. So for those of you who don't know who Jadena is, he is a singer, a rapper, a songwriter, stuff like that. He's an artist in the industry. He's done a couple of songs like Classic Man and Bambi. Then when I was looking into it a little bit more, I found out that he was touring. He was doing his 85 to Africa tour. So they were making their way around the country. He was getting Hagwa done in certain cities that he was, you know, set to perform in. Then I said to myself, like, oh, you know, I don't know, like, can it really be? Can this really be Jadena? Is it really for him? Like, I don't know. She didn't say that it was for him. But then at the same time, I was also thinking, like, maybe she wouldn't say it was for him, you know, especially if he's like a high profile person to any degree. When I started putting these pieces together, and I just started feeling like a little bit uncomfortable with it, not only with just the price, because I felt uncomfortable with that price, I also felt now uncomfortable not knowing who this guy was gonna be. And I'm going to a hotel room, like, what if the girl doesn't show up? Just don't know. Like me, I'm just running. Like, sometimes the paranoia, it gets me. I don't know if I could do this. The price ain't even right. Then it's a guy. Like, what am I supposed to do? For those of you who don't understand why him being a guy is an issue for me, it's because my values that I uphold in my practice of my religion is that we're not supposed to really be touching men that are not related to us. So it just kind of creates a little bit of a conflict for me here. When I started just like quantifying all these things of what was going to have to logistically happen for all this to happen, I just started to get overwhelmed, and I just told her, and I really hate doing this, like, I really try to hold to things that I promise people, okay? And I wanted to uphold this, but I felt like it was just shaky grounds already. I just felt like some of these details are foggy. She's not being decisive about what's happening or who's getting their henna done. The price, I don't like it, you know what I'm saying? Maybe some of you may not understand, but I mean, you know, I'm a person too, so my opinions and my thoughts are also valid. So anyway, after all that, I just reach out to her and I say, I hope everything is well with you on the road. I regret to have to tell you that I will not be able to do your group's mobile Jaguar appointment. I'm very sorry to have to cancel. I hope that you find someone else to take my place. I wish all the best for you out there. She like immediately replies back to me and says, may I ask why? The appointment I was booking was for the young man in the photo. The henna artist that usually does his Jaguar does it well, but if you can't, I'll have to find someone else. Thank you. And she said his performance is on the 12th in Denver, and he does Jaguar for his performances. I just told her, I understand, I really want to help you all, but I can't because I don't have anybody to watch my kids that day. And on top of that, the price of $35 a hand is what I charge when I do henna in my inspiration room, when I do it from my home office. And I said, I totally understand that he wouldn't be able to come here for legitimate reasons. And then I said, I hate to have to pass up on this awesome opportunity, but I'm going to have to this time, my sister. Family comes first. Thank you so much for considering me. I feel honored. And she said, oh, I understand. Do you have another henna artist that is as good as you? And at that point, I thought those were two very legitimate reasons why I cannot do this. And at this point, I feel for them because I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. Like, I'm trying to get some hagwon done for a special occasion that I need it for. And, you know, somebody telling you that they can't do it after all this time is a little bit demoralizing. I understand that. But I'm not going out of this house. No, I'm not doing it. Was more than happy to send them someone else's way, someone who can do it with no problem. So I sent her the other henna artist, Do Jagwa, and I thought that was like the last I was gonna hear from her. On October 8th, I just got done picking up my kids from school, and at that point, I got lots of stuff I gotta do. Gotta feed the kids, gotta help the kids with homework, gotta help them do whatever else they need to do. You know what I'm saying? I get a message from her saying, hey, would you be available if we came to your location? Yeah. She said, we didn't find anyone as good as you, and we're willing to come to you. And I was tripping at this point. I made it such a big deal about, you know, the money and the kids situation. But I should have also told her that I just didn't feel comfortable doing a male's henna. That's what I should have said, right? That's what I should have done, okay? So then that way, it would have really been done at that point. Like, it would have been cut off, done, whatever. But sometimes insecurities get to me. Maybe they wouldn't have been happy with me, but most of the time people respect your wishes, even if they don't agree with you. And this is what I should have gone with, you know what I mean? But it wasn't what I did. I'm gonna be 100% with you right now. Part of me was like, you know, you could do his henna in your house. This sounds ridiculous. You could just get paid for the work you did. Awesome, awesome. You'd be at home with your kids. You could have your brother with you. He could sit in the room with you the entire time so you wouldn't be alone with anybody. But it just sounds ridiculous. I was also thinking, like, maybe if I could take, you know, pictures of Jadena's hagwon, maybe that could be good for me. I could, you know, put that under my belt like I've done, you know, celebrities henna before. I have experience with it. Having experience means that you're trustworthy, that you can do it. But then the other side of me was like, but the values though, like, what about your values, you know? It's like, you know, my heart could never really settle on it, but I talked myself into saying, like, there's a way that you can make this work. And that's where those practice hand hagwon designs come from that I was posting on my Instagram. It was for Jadena. I was practicing touchless. I was practicing touchless henna. I wear gloves a lot of the time. This is how I was justifying it. Anyway, we'll continue. In my mind thinking, like, why would he come here? They said he can't come here. Did he agree to this, or is this just something that she's coming up with? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on the other side. I'm only just left to speculate. Like, isn't that a security issue? So this is where we start negotiating the time. I told her on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 is booked, but anytime after 4:30 is free on Friday. And then she said, okay, I'll schedule it with him and get back to you very soon, but we definitely want to book you. I said, all right, I'll wait for you to confirm the date. On October 9th, got back to me and she said, I'm looking at Friday, possibly at 4:30, but I'm going to discuss it with him. And I was like, okay. Then she gets back to me on the 10th of October and says, okay, we might want to do Friday around 4:30. Will he be in a private area? Explaining to her the details of what's going to happen. What does it look like? I showed her a video of the room. It's like, you know, how far are you from downtown Denver? Maybe 25 minutes away. And then she said, okay, I have to see because our Uber is going to be wild expensive. At this point, I'm just kind of over it. I just kind of feel like I should have just deaded it right there. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna be on my terms. If you're gonna show me that you can't meet me halfway, or you're just not willing to do what you need to do to get over here for something that you wanted. I did not reach out to you. You reached out to me. Anyway, I guess she talked to him and then she was saying, oh, Friday at 4:30 doesn't work good for us. You remember this? You know, the Women's Foundation of Colorado luncheon was Friday in the morning, and that was the only thing stopping the Jadena Henna. I wasn't going to blow off the women's luncheon to do something that I didn't feel quite right about in the first place. You know, a part of me feels some type of way about it, but most of me feels happy that I did not give up on those things. From this particular situation, I learned I'm just going to be super upfront about my stuff and what I do, and hopefully I will not fall into that again. You know, I should have conducted myself better in this situation. I should have just been more upfront. And it's simple stuff, but sometimes you just get caught up. And that's life too. You sometimes just get caught up in the fame, you get caught up in potentials, but you just gotta take some steps back and always be true to yourself. You know what I mean? Even if it means that you miss out on some opportunities, because hopefully you'll have better opportunities come your way. So I hope this story was beneficial for you guys, and I just want to thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you, and I want to leave you with peace.